Hello all. Now let's see the coding conventions in Java. In general, we may write some information regarding the Java source code in some files. There might be text files or any other files. So these text files cannot contain more than 2000 lines. If they contain more than 2000 lines, we should split them into two or more. And also, the content in the text file should be divided by using some blank lines so that we can easily recognize the content. So this is the separate one. So like this, we can easily separate the sections, and we can also write some comments regarding the content. So we can easily find out what is this content about by just reading this comment. So these are the general conventions that are followed by Java developers. Now let's see the conventions regarding the Java source files. So in the Java source file, we can write any any number of clauses, but there should be only one public class, and you can write as many classes you want, but they should be private, protected, and default. So in a single source file, you can write as many as classes if you want, but the first class should be public class and remaining can be of any of these and can be any number. Like you can write two private classes, three protected, one default. So based on the requirement, we can write as many as we want, but there should be only one public class. So this is about Java source files. Now let's see the beginning comments in the Java source file. So before every class starts, we write comments like this. So this comment have the information about the class name and the author who written the class, and the date when the class is written, and the version info, in which version it is releasing, the copyright notice. Any copyright issues regarding the class must be written here. So these information generally included in the beginning comments of the Java source file. So now coming to the package and import statements in Java source file. First there should be package statement, and the second should be import statement should be written, followed by package statements. So for example, package, so sorry, p should misspell, package java dot awt means the class is under the package java dot awt. And next import java dot io star, and we are importing the classes under this package. So these two lines should be at the first of the source file, and first few lines must be about package, and the next few lines must be regarding the import if any. And now let's see the about the static variables. So the static variables order should be public, protected, default, and private. Means we should first write public static variables, then protected, and then default, and followed by, and then follows a private static variables like static, public static, var1, protected static var2 equal to some default static, I forgot the data type, int var3 equal to some value, private static string var4 equal to some value. So this is the order of the static variables when you want to declare in the Java source file. So the same follows for the instance variables. The order of the declaration of the instance variables is same as static variables. Line length in a Java source file must be restricted to 80 characters per line. If you encounter more than 80 characters, you should move to the next line. And methods should be grouped according to their functionality, not like protected public default, not in the section of the access modifiers. So here we have seen we are classified the static variables declaration and the instance variable declaration by using the access modifiers. So in the order of public, protected, default and private, we divided the variables into sections, like we first write public and then protected, default and private. So that is not in the case of methods. We shouldn't write methods by following their access modifiers type. We should group them by using their functionality. And coming to the declarations, we cannot declare one variable. We cannot declare more than two or more variables in a single line, like int a. This one is valid one, and we can't declare the variables like this. This is not the best coding practice, so this should be avoided. And when coming to the initialization of the variables, we must initialize the variable right after the declaration. Or else, if you use the variable immediately, then no need of initializing the variable instantly. You can do it in the next lines like this, int a equal to 0. So this is fine. If you are not going to use the uh, variable immediately, then you should initialize the variable very right after the declaration. And declarations should be in the start of the section, like if there is a class, we must write the declarations here and write the remaining code here. And likewise, if there is any method, we should give the declaration statements all here, and then we should write the remaining code. So whatever the section might be, we must give the declarations first, and then we should go with the remaining code next. We all might have known that class names must start with a capital letter, like employee class. So this is also one of the coding conventions, that every class must start with a capital letter, and we call it as Pascal case. Pascal case means if we have two words like saving account, for every single word we encounter nest details like this. If you follow, we must capitalize the letters of the first letter of the word. So class names follow the Pascal case. So this is one of the convention that we use for the Java class names. So let's take another example like account details. This should be like this, or else like registration employee. This is how we should write the class names. And coming to the method names follow camel case. Camel case in the sense they first start with a small letter and then go big. For example, write first function. So at first, the small letter and the next word will have the capitalized letter. And if the parenthesis doesn't have anything, there should be no gap in between them. Means we didn't have give any space between them like this. It should be like this. And coming to the variable names should always be short as possible, and also uh, not start with a dollar sign and also the underscores. Examples for the variables or char string. Variables also follow the camel case, like methods. Now coming to the constants in Java. So the constants must be in the capital letters, whole capital letters. So if there are two words in the constant name, we can split by using the underscore, like min min length. Like this, we should write the constant names, and we cannot write two or more sentences in the single line, like I plus plus j plus plus. This is avoidable. So what is correct is this approach is correct. So now coming to the if else, we all know this if condition. We will write some statements here, and else the command goes here. This is for the if else, and for loop, first we write initialization block, and then condition block, and then increment block or update block, and then the statements follows, and then uh, the opening brace is for the start and the closing brace is for the end. Now let's see how we should write try catch statements, and then catch here the exception name, and then statements of code, and then finally block follows. So this finally block will execute whether the uh, any error comes in the try or not, means whether the successful execution of try can or cannot be done, right? So this that doesn't affect the finally block. Finally block runs always. So these are the all coding conventions that we follow in Java. So while you are coding, try to follow all these coding conventions. So this make your code more readable, and you can add new functionalities, and also can be easily maintained further. So these are the pros when you use the coding conventions. See you in the next video.